high school football teams from Class 5A have put together more wins the past 2 seasons in the state of Texas than the Stony Point Tigers. Following back-to-back 13-2 campaigns, the Tigers are at it again, pouncing on 4 opponents for victories. High expectations are exactly why 2 teams from Monterrey, Mexico were eager to give the Tigers from the north a competitive matchup and prove that football south of the border is better than most people think.
That team was a fantastic team. They could beat some of these 5A teams here in Texas.
Now the Stony Point Tigers out of Round Rock got a chance to take on 2 teams from the Monterrey area of Mexico. They beat Nuevo Leon in week 1, 48-7, and then beat Monterrey Tech in week 3. It's a chance to not only play this team this year, but they'll do it again next season.
They're 2 excellent football teams, and we're excited about playing teams from Mexico. It was difficult finding games. We had to play DeSoto, which I didn't really want to play them, but we had to make a decision between them and Abilene. And these 2 teams called up, and I talked to my athletic director, Jim Lorwald. He said, absolutely, let's go ahead and do that.
Round Rock ISD Athletic Director Jim Lorwald knew back-to-back home games in the next 2 years could bring in a sizable income to the school district while strengthening the bond between the 2 nations on the gridiron, which of course could also help boost the sport on a more international level.
Well, our high school is an IB school and has been for the last 3 years. So it's an international school. We talk a lot about being a global school, a global community, and that's something we really want to continue to emphasize. And when this opportunity presented itself, it sounded like the right thing to do.
Now, considering only 1 position player from Mexico besides a kicker has ever played it down in an actual NFL game, it's easy to understand why most Americans would underestimate the level of competition from Old Mexico. But these teams from Monterrey are very familiar with football Americano. After all, the Dallas Cowboys are not only America's team, but Mexico's team as well.
Well, the competition is good, but it's not this level, you know. It's more like they don't want to play with us, so we're gonna travel a lot to Mexico City and let's face the sorting teams, but there's no compared to this level.
The UIO would have a nightmare with the recruiting advantage Los Tigres Juvenil of Nuevo Leon can produce as a feeder school to the University of Nuevo Leon. Los Tigres have won 2 Mexican national championships in football, and their head coach, Carlos Cabral, attends University of Texas summer football camps regularly. The 375-mile trip north along I-35 to Austin is worth it because these Mexican players and coaches will learn what they need to work on to get better.
I need to try to put the ball in my wide receiver hands, because if I put in another place, maybe they will intercept.
The Prepa Tech Borregos from Monterrey lost a hard-fought 35-21 decision to Allen in 2009, the year after the Eagles won the state championship. They also shut out McAllen in 2007 and beat Del Rio as well before that. The Borregos of Prepa Tech of Monterrey have won 11 high school football national championships in Mexico. This game against Prepa Tech was a little tighter for Stony Point than their week 1 battle against Nuevo Leon because the Borregos tied the game at 7 following a Mauricio Garcia fumble recovery for a touchdown. Prepa Tech only trailed 20-7 at the break, but just like in week 1 against Nuevo Leon, a lack of depth and speed proved too costly for the teams from Monterrey against the Tigers of SP. The one thing both coaches talked about was the speed differential.
La primera cosa que hizo it was the most important thing on the game. That was the difference. That was what gave him the advantage and the edge on the game. It's all about speed.
They are so fast and they move so fast.
Stony Point added DeSoto in week 4 to their L column and continue to move up the state rankings in Class 5A as district play opens. But the experience they shared as a team against the Tech of Monterrey and Los Tigres de Nuevo Leon is one these players won't soon forget. In Austin, Jeff Power, High School Spotlight.